What's up, folks, and welcome back to Dyce Reacts, where we are staying in London, England tonight. 4 things we love living in the UK. Right, but side checks one out. We ain't gonna waste no more time. We're just gonna get right into it, folks. We're gonna get right into it. Oh yeah.
Four things that I really like about living here in Great Britain. And the first thing on that list is the bread. I know you may have heard that before, but the bread in the US is not great. It's functional. I mean, you can take it, you can put a piece down, you can put some things on it, and you put your other piece. And it's more of a transport mechanism to get the flavor and the food.
Guys, I laugh at this because I'm a bread lover as well. I love bread, man, and I'm not surprised this black dude is saying that, about bread. I mean, kind of, I'm not surprised, but I was a little surprised at the same time. Yeah, I wonder if he's going to talk about chicken, man, if he's like fried chicken. I don't know. We will see.
Food from the food into your mouth, right? The bread itself is a transport mechanism. It's not something that is imparting flavor into the dish or the sandwich or whatever you're eating with, or whatever you're eating, right? The bread doesn't really add much to it. It's just kind of there. Not so here with the bread here in the UK. My kids really enjoy the bread. They really love it. They eat sandwiches with gusto, so to speak. And so they would just kind of really have a good time with enjoying the bread. The flavors are just so good. We really appreciate it. The next thing that I really like about being here is still food related, and that is going to be the cheese. Recently, I had an opportunity to get some cheese from the United States, and I ate it, and I couldn't even taste it. It was so bland. It just didn't have any flavor. It had no kick, no punch, nothing to it to make you be like, this is cheese. However, when we eat cheese here in the UK, it's just really good, really flavorful. We've really grown to like it. We will only buy, certain brands. We really enjoy those cheeses, and we have a good time eating them. So the first two things that I really like about living here are both food related. And since we're talking about food, I'll go in and throw in a bonus on my little list, which is going to be the fish and chips. I've done a whole video where I talk about the fish and chips, which is totally new. Before I lived here, of course, I've had fried fish before, but not fried cod. And so the cod and the haddock and some of the other types of fish that you could get from the fish shops, those are really good.
What about the
So we
chicken,
really,
man?
enjoy that as well. So if I'm going to talk about food, I have to talk about the fish and chips. That's what I've enjoyed in England. Hopefully soon I'll get an opportunity to travel up to Scotland, and I'm looking forward to trying some of the food, some of the more classic Scottish dishes, and then I get an opportunity to get to Wales. I want to try some of that as well. But right now, it's the English food, and it's also the fish and chips. So those are some of the things that I really enjoy. But moving away from the table and kind of moving into the car is I actually enjoy driving here. Once you kind of get to know the rules of the road, you can really appreciate it. One quick example is in the United States, when you're driving and you come up to a red light, you stop. But depending on the circumstances, you can still turn. You can go and that's weird. I'm sorry. I'm outside. I'm in nature. So there are like birds and I don't know, geese making all kind of noises in the background, and I thought it was a person or something. I didn't know what that was, but I think it's just a bird. Okay. The nature here is really cool. The place where I live at here is really nice. There are birds all over the place. There are bunnies. I've never seen so many bunny rabbits, and I understand now where Peter Rabbit came from, but I've never seen so many rabbits. Not so many frogs, though. I've only seen one frog since I've been here. I digress. Let me get back on topic. And I was talking about driving, and I was talking about specifically stopping at a red light. So
Basically, he's talking about rabbits in the wild. Rabbits in the wild? Is that common up there? Up in England? Hmm. I mean, we have rabbits down here, but certainly domesticated. It's not in the wild where you could just see rabbits in the wild. That's not a thing. Is that a thing in England? I don't want to sound like I'm living under a rock, but he said it just flew over my mind, but I realized, in the wild? Hit me up in the comments.
when you stop at a red light, depending on the circumstances, you can't make a right turn legally in the U.S. Here in the UK, it's pretty simple. When you hit a red light, you stop. That's it. If it's a red light, you stop. When the light turns yellow and green, you can go. Until that happens, you stop. So that's something, just a quick example of the driving and how it's easier here than in the States. You don't have to do that extra thinking about, can I turn on this red light? Is it allowed in this circumstance? Nope. Red light, you stop. And actually staying with the theme of driving, another thing that I really enjoy about living here is the lack of stress specifically related to driving and commuting. I lived 17 years in the Washington, D.C. area, in the DMV, which stands for D.C., Virginia, Maryland. And I lived in D.C., I lived in Maryland, and I lived in Virginia. For the last 6 years that I lived there, I had a 55-mile one-way commute. In the morning, my job was 55 miles from home. I had to drive up a very long 4-lane highway, hit the beltway, circle around the district, and kind of head out another 30 minutes or so after that. So my drive in the morning was about an hour and 15 to an hour and 30 minutes. The overall drive, like going and coming, was 110 miles a day, and I was losing about 3 hours a day just on the commute. And I did that for 6 years. So get here, living in the UK, I live in England here in the Midlands. My commute is much shorter, much more pleasurable, much more enjoyable. I don't lose all that time. It's not all the stop and go traffic. So I really enjoy that. I really appreciate having a better commute. And that improves my better and overall quality of life.
Yeah,
and so
definitely.
That would be the last thing that I would say I really enjoy, is that I find the UK to be a very pleasant place to be as far as stress. I'm not stressed here. I don't feel the same amount of stress that I felt in the United States. It's just not weighing on me as heavily. And I've asked my wife about this, and she said the same thing. She just doesn't feel as much stress as we both felt in the United States. And so that in itself is worth the reason to move, that alone, to be able to get away from stress. Stress kills, right?
Definitely.
And so we don't want that to happen. And those are the things that we really enjoy about living here in the UK, that we really look forward to when we wake up in the morning, an easier commute. When we're going out to eat, we enjoy the fish and chips, we enjoy the cheese, the breads. Oh, and I didn't even mention the pastries. I know, I'm a bit of a foodie, but the pastries here are phenomenal. They're really great. Better than almost any pastries you can get in the United States. There are a few home-cooked cakes and pies. Of course, apple pie in the States is on par, but just the pastries here are really a level above. And so those are just things that I really enjoy. I have been here about 8 months, and that's kind of been my experience thus far. I'll probably roll up another one of these at about a year. My wife and I sit down and we'll talk about, what we think and what that 1 year mark has been like for us. And but up until this point, it's been good. Food, good. Driving, easier. And stress, lower. Right? That summarizes it. So, thank you, and until the next time, take care.
I had a smile the whole video. I couldn't stop smiling. It was just so, it was kind of wholesome, because I had a feeling the direction he was going from the first thing he mentioned, sorry. And a lot of it is food related, coming from a black dude. Wait, that's about what I was expecting. I was on with the fried stuff, but it wasn't fried chicken, so I'm guessing he's more of a fish guy. I mean, I don't think anything can beat the US traffic. I mean, the US traffic just looks ridiculous, man. So definitely I can imagine not doing that long commute, 3 hours of your day. That's a lot of hours just driving. So you can't even afford to wake up late, because it's gonna be even worse, I would assume. I'm gonna be checking out more from him. Let me see because since he lives in America, I can get a perspective from an American in the UK. I have videos where I've seen Australian. I have videos where I've seen a Polish individual talk about the difference. So it's good, but I haven't gotten a black guy in those other countries, and I'll have to look for some videos. Let me see what is the difference. They don't have to come from America per se, but I just want to hear some of the differences or some of the things that they love and dislike about those countries. that I'm currently reacting to. Yeah. If you want to see that long channel, how should I do? Hit me over on Dyce Reacts where I do music reactions. This is where I'm going to be making my exit. Until next time, peace